Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes, way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi.
Hi, are you sure you can prepare for product based companies through this course?
Yes, sitting at home?
No way!
Yes, way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi.
Oi! So they give access to their job portal, Geeks for Geeks, for free?
Yes, complimentary with the course.
And you got your job through that?
Me and 15,000 others across the world.
No way!
Oh, yes, ways. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Yeah, so hello everyone. Good evening. So I see six people are with me. If I'm properly audible and visible, can you please write the same in the chat box? Naika is saying that he has an exam of computer fundamental tomorrow. Okay, so how well prepared are you? Let me share my screen and then we can start. Just a minute. Okay, Naikaj, no worries. You can prepare for your exam. That's great, Naikaj. All the best for your tomorrow's exam. Okay, yeah. So I have already uploaded the link of the slide on the um, description of this stream. You can access from there. And apart from that, yeah, so we have 8 people with me live right now. I would request everyone to kindly like this streaming and as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Geeks for Geeks practice channel. In fact, we are planning to launch a great quality content in the future. So I hope you all do not miss those content, which will prove extremely benefit for your preparation of your interviews. Okay, so let me just share my screen and then we can very soon start. Um, Meanwhile, let other students also join. Okay, so how are you all? Can you please write in the chat box? How exactly are your preparations going on for your internships and placements or whatever you are preparing? Okay, yeah, my screen is also visible. So let's begin then. So I welcome everyone to the session number 4 on tree series that is currently going on the Geeks for Geeks practice channel. So before I begin, let me introduce myself. My name is Gourav Kumar Shaw, and I am presently in my third year at IIT Kharagpur. And I'm also a mentor at Geeks for Geeks, and I'm also an incoming software engineering intern at CureFit. Okay, so I did not mention the name of the company there. Just a minute, let me write it. Okay, so today will be a practice session. Okay, so in our first session, we studied about various types of trees, the traversal techniques, and we also studied about the DFS and the BFS traversal techniques, namely the in order, pre order, post order, and the level order. Okay, so we will be studying today. We will be also looking at few problems, and in our next session, we also looked into the coding implementation of all those traversal techniques. Apart from that, we also yeah. So apart from that, we also looked into the iterative version as well, and I told you all that from interview point of view that iterative version is one of the most important uh, uh, concept that you should know, because recursive implementation is quite easy and everyone will know it, but what your interviewer would specifically want to know from you is the iterative implementation. Okay, so knowing the iterative implementation is very very good. Okay, so that is of our previous discussion. Today we will be discussing a few more problems related to the traversal techniques only. Okay, so let's begin then. And meanwhile, can you all write your name in the chat box so that to mark your presence? Hello, Nitin Yadav. How are you? So, Nitin, I remember you were also there in the last session. That's great. You are attending sessions regularly. Hello, Pranav. This is your first session. That's very well. So, Pranav, what you can do basically attend the sessions for the remaining of this month. We are going live every Monday and Tuesday. Okay, but meanwhile, there is another session called the dynamic programming session on Thursday and Friday. You can also attend that. Okay, so basically, in fact, I suppose, yeah, this today is the fourth session. Yeah, so yeah, you can attend the dynamic programming series as well. You can check out my graph playlist, which was basically streaming during the month of December. So all these contents are basically from interview point of view. So this will help you prepare yourself for interview. Okay, that's great, Pranav. For Amazon interviews, you need to have a very good grasp of data structures and algorithms. Okay, so you can check out in fact, there is something called as Amazon test series on Geeks for Geeks. So you can check out all the questions there and try to practice those. That will certainly be very helpful. And all the best for your preparation. And I hope you definitely become a software engineer at Amazon. Okay, so our first problem for today will be zigzag traversal. In fact, this question was itself asked many a times in Amazon interviews, and it's quite frequently asked these days in interviews. Okay, so this is a slight modification of the level order traversal, but actually level order traversal has become quite common these days. So, which is basically a BFS implementation. So sometimes instead of asking for level order traversal, interviews you will find zigzag traversal being asked. Okay, so can anyone just write briefly in the chat box that how exactly zigzag traversal is getting implemented? So I'm just resharing my screen again to share the entire screen, because in that case the viewing will be much better. Okay, so give me a minute. Okay, Ravi is saying that we have to find a level order and store it in the vector or vector level wise, and then reverse the odd indexed vector. We need to check at even level, left to right and odd at right to left. Yeah, in fact every one of you all are correct. So let's see. So basically, what we will do, we will just do the simple level order traversal that we were used to do. Okay, but this time, the special point here is that we have to keep a track of which level we are traversing. For example, the very first level contains one. Okay, so the very first level, the idea is to traverse from the left to right. But in the next level, what will happen? We have to traverse from right to left. So we have to keep a counter that will help me keep track of the level in which I am supposed to visit from left to right or from right to left. Okay, so let's try to look into a small concept related to that. So let's say we keep a flag variable. Okay, so if flag is equal to 0, in that case it means that we will traverse from left to right, and if flag is equal to 1, we will traverse from right to left. So we will do the normal BFS of a level order traversal that we used to do, but at the same time we will update our flag variable at every iteration. Okay, so what are the data structures that we are using in this? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, we can use a queue and a stack. We need to check at even level. Yeah, exactly. So, can anyone tell me what data structure we are using? So, can anyone tell? Yeah, yes, Naikaji, you're correct. For that, you can use queue and stack. Yes. Okay. So, basically, what is happening here? We will be utilizing. Just a minute. Yeah. So, we will be taking. Yeah, we will be using queue data structure because we have to implement a level order traversal kind of stuff. Okay. Apart from that, we will also be keeping a vector or vector integer. In fact, someone in the chat box mentioned that Ravi Kumar mentioned that we will store it in a vector or vector level wise, and then this will help us in printing. Okay, so this was about it. So let's have a look at the coding implementation of this problem, and I hope it is clear with everyone. Okay, so let's see. Why we need to store it in vector or vector? Um, See, so what was happening here is that the first level was 1. So you were printing 1. After that, you have to print 3 and 2 and not 2 and 3. So what is happening here? You will store 3 and 2 in your vector, and then you will iterate over your vector or vector and print 3 comma 2. Okay, but actually what happens when you're trying to do a normal traversal, you will always go to left and then the right. So you will print in this fashion: 1, then 2 and 3, and then 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that basically that is a level order traversal and not zigzag. So in order to implement a zigzag, you need to keep track of the level. Okay, so we will just have a look at here. And meanwhile, one more thing is that today is the last day to basically save 25% on any courses you're trying to buy, which will last for just 1 hour 45 minutes. Okay, so in fact, let me tell you all about the Geeks for Geeks self-paced course. So it is an extremely wonderfully crafted course if you are a beginner to learn data structures and algorithm. Okay, in fact, when I was trying to learn data structures and algorithm in my second year, I bought that course myself. Okay, so it is a very good course if you are a beginner, and everything will be the concepts will be clear in a very much better way. So I would recommend you to kindly purchase that course if you are serious about your preparation for interviews and placements. Okay, so this was about the sale that is going on Geeks for Geeks right now. Okay, so let's come back to our topic then. So we will be having a small implementation of the zigzag or a traversal. Let's see that. Okay, just a minute. Let me get the code ready. In fact, okay, so I'm pasting the link of the question on the chat box. You all can try amongst yourself. Why do we reverse? Either we can store in stack. Why do we need to store in either we can store in stack? Yes, you can do, but I wanted to basically show you the use of the flag variable to solve this question. Okay, so give me a minute. Okay, let me just write the code here. Okay, One- so let's declare a vector called answer. Okay, and then okay, so this error is basically we have to write data here, I suppose, because this has been implemented in the form of data. Okay, so data left and right, that's great. So it should be data. Okay, so let's submit it again. Okay, so I have redeclared this variable, so let me comment this out. Hmm. I hope everyone is with me. So this debug, let's see. These variables were not declared, so in that case, let me declare these variables. Okay, so we have 13 people with me live right now. I would request everyone to kindly stay with me till the very end. Yeah, so as you can see, all the test cases have passed, so therefore this code is correct. So let me explain it to you what I have done. So the first thing is that I am declaring a vector of vector. Okay, so why a vector of vector? Because I need to. Okay, so I need to keep track of all the levels. Then I've also declared answer vector which I will return. So first thing is I will declare a queue and I will push my route. After that, I'm declaring a flag variable called left to right. So this is true if in case I want to traverse from left to right, and if I want to traverse from right to left, it will be marked as false. So during the first iteration, it should be true because the first level will be traversed from left to right. Then I will do the same thing that which I do basically in level order traversal. I take the size of the queue, the number of nodes present in the queue at that instant, and then go across all the nodes. Okay, and after that, what I do, I pop all those nodes, and after that, I take the basically the then I will go to the left and then I will go to the right. And before that, I take the index and I check that whether left to right is true or not. If it is true, I put an I, and if it is false, in that case, what will I do? I will take size minus 1 minus I. Okay, so this part is important because I am traversing from the left to right part, so I want to keep it in reverse order. Okay, and not from the right to left. So that is one thing that you should take care of. After that, what should I do? Yeah, so left to right is equal to not left to right. So initially, if it was true, after this iteration, it will become false. Okay, so then again in the next iteration, it will become true. So basically, it is alternating from true to false, false to true, something like that. And finally, I have declared a vector called row. So I have pushed all the values in my row vector, which I will push it into my result. So basically, what is happening? The row vector is taking into account all individual levels, and it is pushing into a vector result, which is a vector of vector. So after this while loop is done, I have stored each and every individual level in a vector called result. So finally, what will I do? I will just iterate across my vector or vector result and store it into answer because the question is asking me to return one vector and not vector of vector. So that is why I have to make sure that I am putting everything in the answer variable. Okay. So this was about the level order traversal. I hope everyone has understood this concept. So, if you have probably understood this concept, can you please write the same in the chat box? And if you have any doubts, you can write the same also. And then we'll proceed to our next question. Okay. So, meanwhile, have a look at it. Okay. So, okay, let's move to the next part of our yeah. So this is done. Then finally, the next we have a question called boundary traversal. But before that, let's see if anyone has any doubts in zigzag order traversal. Hello Nitin, hello Nikaj, hello Ravi. How are you? Any doubts here? Are you still with me? Okay, so hello Pranav. How are you? Are you still with me? Okay, so I have 12 people with me right now. So all the new joinees, I would request everyone to kindly stay with me till the very end, and we'll be discussing at most two more problems today. And let me tell you more about the graphs and tree session. So this tree session will be going on in the month of January, and I would request everyone to kindly like the streaming. It's very important actually. And after that, you can subscribe to our channel. So in fact, we are planning to bring great quality content for everyone, for in order to help you prepare for your interviews. So if you subscribe to our channel, that will help you basically to prepare for your interviews. And so all the contents are extremely well crafted, and it is brought to you by credible mentors at Geeks for Geeks. Okay, so this was about zigzag tree traversal. Let's move to the next question, which is boundary traversal. So let's first have a look at the question. Okay, so boundary traversal. Let's have a look at this question. Now the question basically says is that you are given a tree, find its left boundary, right boundary, and leaf nodes. Okay, so I will show it to you with the help of an example. Give me a minute. Okay, so have a look at here. So basically see this tree. So once you're traversing into this tree, first you have to go across the left boundary. Okay, so once you're going to the left boundary, hmm. So the left boundary would be 1, 2, 4. So all the nodes appearing on the left side of the tree. So first it would be 1, then it would be 2, then it would be 4. And after that, you have to print all the leaf nodes. Okay, so which is 8, 9. Okay, so finally after that you have to print 6 and 7. And then after that you have to print the right side nodes. So which will be equal to 3. Okay, So you see that this entire traversal was basically in anti-clockwise fashion, and it was only traversing to the boundaries. Okay, so all these nodes 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 6, 6 to 7, and 7 to 3 all are in the boundary of my given tree. So you have to make sure that you are printing the only the boundary elements. Okay, so make sure that you are doing that. So any doubts here? And can anyone please write in the chat box about how exactly are you going to approach this question? Any ideas, anyone? Boundary traversal. Okay, so no one has replied in the chat box till now. So are you all there with me? Nitin, Naigaj, Ravi, Pranav. Okay, so you can write the same in the chat box. That would be very helpful. And so those who have joined late, I would request everyone to kindly like the session and subscribe to our channel and kindly stay with me till the very end. Okay. So anyone, any ideas about how to solve this question? Can you please write in the chat box? Just a brief explanation would also do. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Manidhar, you are correct. So it's a right view plus the left view and the leaf node. Okay. Okay, so there is a small error in this code, and I'm not sure exactly what. So, which is basically the naming convention. I have to take care of it. So, just a minute. It should be capital N. Okay, and it should also be capital N. The function signatures should be taken care of. So let me submit it once again and see. Okay, so 113. Yeah. So in fact, the code is working perfectly fine then. Okay, yeah. So Manita said it's right view plus left view plus the leaf node. Okay. So let's have a look at here. Okay, so what exactly does the boundary traversal basically means is that Hmm. So initially you take care of all the nodes which are present on the left boundary. So by left boundary I would mean the node number one, which is the root. Then you come to two, then three, and then four. Okay. After all the left are done, you have to take care of the leaf node. So for you have to calculate individually for the left node, the leaf node, and then finally the right node as well. So which process will you apply to calculate the left, right, and the leaf node? So if you're trying to the left boundary, you see the number would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you're trying for the leaf node, it should be 5, 6, 10, and 11. And in case if you're trying for the right boundary, it should be 7, 8, 9, 8, and 7. Okay, but since we are following the anti-clockwise direction, though it means that we will not be taking into account 7, 8, and 9. We will be taking the reverse, which is 9, 8, 7. Okay, so this was about boundary traversal. Hmm. And one more thing is that for when we are trying to get the leaf node, we will be going across the in-order traversal. Why in-order traversal? Because let's say if you're trying to perform level order traversal, what will happen basically is that it takes level wise level. So in this tree, all the leaf nodes are at a single level, but it may happen that in some tree, all the leaf nodes are not at the same level. So in that case, it is better to take the in-order traversal to calculate the leaf node. Okay, and finally we will club all these three together and output as a vector. So this is a boundary traversal. So the time complexity of this approach would be a linear time complexity because for the left and the right we are basically going to the height of the binary tree, because we are keep on going to the left and we keep on going to the right. And for checking the in-order traversal, which would be O of n. So let's look at the code. So the first code is that we will declare a vector called result in which we will store our answer. And after that, we will check whether our node is presently a leaf node or not. Okay, if it is not a leaf node, we will push the value in our result. This is done. So now we will go to the add left boundary function. So we will call the left boundary function. Then we will call the add leaves function, and finally we will call the right boundary function. After all these functions are getting executed, my vector result will be populated with our answer. All the nodes in the proper order as required. Okay, so we have 14 people with me live right now. So what can you all do to please like the session and at the same time subscribe to our channel as well, okay? So this will because in the future we are planning to bring great quality content and it will help you in your interviews preparation as well. Okay, so let's proceed then. So, what exactly is the definition of the is leaf function? So, this function is basically checking that uh, whether the node that you're passing is a leaf node or not. So, the way to check it would be whether the left node and the right node are null or not. So, this piece of code will help you check that. So, it will return true if it is a leaf node. So after that, the first thing that we have to do is add the left boundary. And how to do that? We'll take the root and keep on going to the left, as long as it is not a leaf node. So if it is a leaf node, if it is not a leaf node, we'll push the data. And if it is a leaf node, in that case, what we will do, we will keep on going to the left. Okay, but when suppose we find that it is there is no other left nodes, in that case, we will try to go to the right. Okay, so after that, what we will do, we will go to the right boundary. Okay, so what will happen in right boundary is that we start from the root, but in fact, since we are adding the root in the initially, we will not add the root in this case. The same thing will happen here. But in right boundary, we have to make sure that while we are pushing it into a result vector, we are doing it in reverse fashion. So that is the reason we are taking a temporary vector to store the right boundary nodes. and while pushing into the result vector, we are going across the reverse fashion. Okay, so this was about the right boundary. After that, we have to find the leaves node. So for in order to add the leaves node, we will do a in order traversal, which I described while I was discussing. So this will go to the left and then the right and the root. Okay, so root, left, right. This is the way in order traversal is done. Then I will just put a check whether it is a leaf node or not a leaf node. If it is actually a leaf node, I will push it into my result vector. Otherwise, not. Okay, so in this way, basically, I will add all the leaf node as well. So I have already submitted this code and shown you all that it works. So in fact, any doubts here? This was about the uh, boundary order traversal. Hello Manita, are you there? Hello Nitin, are you there? Hello Naikaj. Hello Ravi. So any doubts in the question? In fact, let me share you the link of this problem that will help you. Okay, so let's have a look at our next problem. Our next problem is going to be the maximum path sum problem. Okay, so just a minute, let me take the session. Yeah, so any doubts till here? Any doubts in the code of boundary order traversal, anyone? Hello Manija, are you there? Yeah, so we have 8 people with me right now. So we discussed 2 problems on this session. The first one was the zigzag order traversal, and the second one was the boundary order traversal. Okay, so apart from that, I will be discussing the maximum path sum as well. So I would request everyone to kindly like this session and subscribe to our channel as well. And this session will be going on every Monday and Tuesday. And apart from that, there is a dynamic programming series also going on every Thursday and Friday. Okay, so okay, thank you, Manidhar. Um, okay, then let's move to the. Okay, so maximum sum path. Now let's read the question first. So the question is saying that we are given a binary tree and we have to find the maximum path sum. So we have to find that path which basically contains the sum of the path is maximum. So how to calculate the sum basically is that the binary tree, each node of the binary tree has a certain associated value with it. So once you're traversing that path, you add up all those values. And if the value comes out to be the maximum of all possible paths, you return the maximum value. Okay, so as you can see, if you are traversing to the path 10, 2, and then 20, so this path is giving you a value of 32. Okay, so this is the answer would be 32. And any other part would always give a sum less than 32. So that is the reason the answer is 32. Okay, so how exactly are you going to do it? Can anyone tell me? So basically, in a nutshell, the problem is that you have a node A and you have a node B. You have to traverse across node A and B and calculate the sum and return the sum, which basically is the maximum across all possible pairs of node A and B. Okay, so this was a formal way to read the question. Okay, so any ideas, anyone? Yeah, hello Subhashish. You can search me on LinkedIn and you can get my name. My name is Gaurav Kumar Shaw. Okay, so I will paste it at the end of the session. Kindly be on. I would request you to kindly stay with me for more 10 more minutes because the session would be that long. And I would share my profile link with you. Okay, Subhashish, does that work? And Dishkant is asking, sir, how much time coding to learn, taking to learn? I'm asking because I'm doing practicing with array entry, but I'm unable to solve the problem I do with YouTube. Okay, so since you're a beginner, it will take, and I expect it to take anywhere between 3 to 4 months to get a good hang about solving questions related to data structures and algorithms. So, meanwhile, what you can do is that keep on practicing. You can check out the Geeks for Geeks practice section, and apart from that, there is an excellent course called the Geeks for Geeks self-paced course. Okay, so you see this button here involving it is telling about a sale. So today is the last day of the sale, and so if I click on this, you will basically go to the courses page of Geeks for Geeks, and in fact you can try to buy this course. Okay, so data structures and algorithms self-paced course. Okay, so this is actually one of the very interesting course, and it is extremely well crafted for beginners. In fact, when I was learning myself, I bought this course, which proved to be extremely beneficial. Okay, so you can try to purchase this code, and in fact, you will be getting a 25% off if you just purchase in the next 1 hour or so. Okay, so this was about that. So Aditya is asking, sir, that I'm in third year and doing coding since the last 6 months, but when I try to do question that I have, then earlier I can't do, please help me. So that is basically you cannot remember the question or the approach. Then if you are not able to remember something, it means that you should revise that multiple times. As long as you're able to get the proper means it's basically you remember the approach and do not forget it. So proper revision is the key here. It may happen that you're solving a problem and not taking a look at it for a longer period of time, so you're forgetting it. So you should do proper revision at regular intervals, in fact. So that is the way it will help you. So let's come back to our problem. So one of the brute force way we can do is that go across every possible pair node A and B and try to calculate the path sum. And when we are calculating the path sum, just store the maximum and return. But the time complexity would be very large, and it will become very complex because it will take O of n square time. So there are like nc2 and choose 2 ways to go across all possible pair of nodes. Okay, so there exists a certain better way, definitely. So what we will do basically, we will go across all the nodes, and then we will try to find the maximum length to the left side and maximum length to the right side of a given node. And then the total path sum of that current node will be the value of the node plus the maximum sum on the left plus the maximum sum on the right. So this type of approach we actually have done when we were trying to calculate the maximum height and the maximum width of a tree. Okay, I hope you remember it from our previous sessions. Okay, the maximum height and maximum width, or in fact, it should be the diameter. Sorry, the height and the diameter. Okay, so when we were trying to calculate the height and diameter, we actually used this kind of approach. We were trying to find the height on the left side, height on the right side, and just add one to it. So that was giving me. So a similar kind of approach we are taking here. So just a minute. Yeah. So this is the code part of it. So the first thing that we will do, we will declare a variable called maxi, and we will declare it with int min. Okay. So why int min? Because I want the maximum, and then we will go to the left path. So we will take the maximum of whatever the left path will give us. So since the nodes can be negative, that is the reason I'm taking it with 0, because I don't want a negative path. Okay, so in fact, if a path is giving me negative, it's better to not take that path, because if I'm not taking that path, the path length is 0, and I always want to maximize the path. So it's better to not take a negative path than take a negative path, because the negative path will always decrease my path sum, and I want the maximum. So that is the reason. And finally, I take the right path as well. So left path and the right path. Apart from that, I have to take the value of my current node on which I am standing. So the final value will be the value of the current node I am standing plus the left plus the right. So this will be, and I have to take the maximum of this value across all the nodes which exists. Okay, so this was about the maximum path sum. Let me submit this problem and check whether it is correct or not. So I guess there are no errors. In fact, yes, there are no errors. So yes, it is correct. So in fact, you see, this is a recursive implementation of the same concept which we used while solving questions related to the diameter and height. Okay, so any doubts here? Divyansh, I'm unable to understand your query. You just wrote that left side is lower than the parent node and right side is higher than the parent node. So, what does this mean? Okay, I hope everyone has understood this problem. So, in fact, if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm here for a couple more minutes. Yeah, Subhashish, are you there? You were asking about my LinkedIn profile. Just a minute, let me share it with you. Does this work, Subhashish? Are you there, Subhashish? Hello, Subhashish, if you're there, can you please kindly reply me? Okay, I guess he's not there. Anyway, so hello, Naika, Jor, Manidhar, or Dikvansh. If you have any doubts in maximum sum path, you can write. So if not, we can wrap up our session then. Okay, and one more thing. Yeah. So let me just tell about the session. So basically, we have 10 people with me live right now. So this is the tree session, and in fact, let me go to the very first slide. Yeah. So today was the fourth session, and we did three practice problems. In the next session, will be every Monday and Tuesday at 10 p.m. Okay. This is a tree session. I would request everyone to subscribe to our channel. And every Thursday and Friday, we have dynamic programming session as well. So basically, this following this channel will help you prepare for your next interviews and placements. Okay, so I hope the content provided by our team are extremely beneficial for you all. And in case I hope you all do not have any doubt, then let's wrap up this session. Okay. So very good night and yeah, bye bye. See you next week then.